see in my hand? Well, that's hail, and that's what's falling out there. Peas to nickels already on play. Went back to another tornado warning. You can see it right there, boom, hitting the deck. That's the tornado itself. This was in full rotation. We were hunting this thing, I tell you, 3 or 4 straight hours as we were engaging these storms. Our team was all 2-inch hailstones out there. Our team had to pull over, and watch what happens. The guy that was right behind us here, he kept going into the hail core. 2-inch hailstones wound up breaking one of his windows. Saw it lift back into the clouds. You can see me there keeping an eye on it. This is a rotating wall cloud in play. And right here, well, you can see all the chasers as well trying to basically get out of the way of this thing. We started to try to get away from this tornado, and this is what happened. This is what we call RFD, or rear down flank draft, blasts of 60, 75 miles. And it even had a tornado warning earlier this evening. It is now moving to the edge of town on the northern side. They just went ahead and issued another severe thunderstorm warning. This is not a joke. This storm is...
Now from the KXVA Fox News First Weather Center, Chief Meteorologist Kris Nation.
We're going to start you off with Supermax 3D radar. Look, I've been talking about this shot at rain for about 3 days. We're now at it, starting right now and throughout part of tomorrow. We're going to get to that in a second, but the rain chances at this point looking okay. Let's zoom in, see what's happening out there. This is light sprinkles, and notice this line right in here, stretching through Lubbock. That's the actual cold front being picked up on the radar. Once it's clearing that bit of energy, kind of trying to diffuse some of it, but I'm seeing some of it survive, and that's a good thing. If it can get past the cold front and still stick together, we might actually see some rain. We go to the satellite, you can tell there's actual clouds there, so there's actual rain. It's not a false echo. No watches or warnings to speak of. Let's take a look at the currents on the surface. What's going on? 64 degrees. It shows it's clear over here in Abilene, but notice the dew point, 42, humidity 45%. That is just enough to squeeze out a little bit of rain from the surface. Now, winds out of the south at 20 miles an hour, bringing in that tiny bit of moisture. Pressure, 29.73, but that's a given. It's not only the wave that's coming at us, it's also a lee side trough that gave us a very windy afternoon. Now, temps out there ranging in the mid to upper 60s. Some of us in the south, like Brownwood, coming in at 59. For our friends over here in Ronan, looking about 64. So it's not bad out there. The winds are an issue. 15 to 20 miles an hour sustained. The strongest I have right now is in Haskell at 26 miles an hour. And that's not even the cold front. Notice all these winds still out of the south. At the very top of the screen here, those darker colors, that's the actual cold front. So it's knocking on our door. We have plenty of moisture in terms of seeing a little bit of rain. I'd love to see these dew points in the 60s, but in the 40s is just enough. Humidity levels are in the 30s to 40s out there. Again, in the far southeast by Brownwood, 51. That's going to be probably one of the spots that has a better shot at rain. So as we take a look at the satellite, we'll pull this whole thing out. I want you to notice 2 things. First of all, that system I've talked about the last couple of days that hit us and missed us by about 10 miles, now hammering the Carolinas. But it's gone. I focused my attention back on us. High pressure in play, pulling out of Texas now, headed through Louisiana, and we have a surface trough. That created what we call a tight pressure gradient. Fancy meteorology term. Basically, it's a pocket of low pressure on the surface that forms on the eastern side of mountains, and that's what happened. Along the mountains into Colorado, the Rockies, all the way down through the Sandias, these two interacted with each other, and that's how we wound up with 20-mile-an-hour winds and 25-mile-an-hour winds. Everything circulates around the high, so the winds are coming from the south, and they're pulling in moisture. That's a good thing. Now let's zoom in and see what's going on with the actual storm system, because the last 24 hours I've been pretty concerned that we may do what's called dry slotting, where the storm system comes right through us, but we're just at the wrong spot at the wrong time. Now we're looking at mild, breezy, and dry. The cold front itself will be moving in over the next 6 hours, and most of us here in the big country, it will already be past us when we get up in the morning. We go to the thermal satellite. I want you to notice what's happening out here. See these reds and yellows quickly disappearing as the winds are coming out of Albuquerque. Let's get over to our exclusive Futurecast Supermodel run. Here's the problem. Right there, look at all the energy that's created around us, but as you noticed at the very beginning, only some sprinkles moving through the area. But let's go ahead and zoom in on it and see exactly what we have a shot at getting on our exclusive computer. Putting it into motion here. Notice, not a lot there, even by noon. Just some sprinkles here and there across the region. Same thing by 9 p.m. Saturday. As we go into Sunday, the sky's even clear and the system is gone. So you can see a couple little spots there late Sunday night into Monday that might have a tiny bit. But that's it. Tonight, we're looking at these winds being about 25 to 30. Be prepared for that. Across the region, your overnight lows in the 40s. Here in town, I'll go 46, mostly cloudy and breezy. Tomorrow, high of only 55. That cold front is on target, partly cloudy. It'll be mostly cloudy in the morning, then start to clear out in the afternoon. Highs will be in the mid-50s for you out there. It's Severe Weather Awareness Week. That is this week, the 2nd through the 8th. Always good to be prepared. Have access to emergency warnings. I cannot stress that enough. Have a hand radio from NOAA available, or keep it tuned into us here at Fox. We'll keep you and your family safe. Quick check the next 7 days. We're looking at probably mid-50s for the weekend. I'd love to say it was a soaker, Rick, but I think we're going to get dry slotted. I'll call for sprinkles.
Everybody would like to say it was a soaker when it rains so bad, but I guess we'll just have to wait.
Yeah.
All right, let's send it over to Danny Rondeau, who's filling in for Sports Director Manny Diaz in sports. Danny.
Now, from the KIDY Fox News First Weather Center, Chief Meteorologist Kris Nation.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My team was on this storm all night, now hitting the city. It's here in San Angelo. What you can see in my hand, well, that's hail, and that's what's falling out there. Peas to nickels already on play in town. We can hear them crashing into our tower out there. Let's go right in, put it into motion, and see exactly what is happening. Originally, we had a whole line of what we call pearls. The good news is they're now compressing into one long line. That reduces the threat of tornadoes, but the hail core here is pretty intense. Still hearing nickels falling out there. Let's go ahead and check the hail core markers. Computer agrees with me. We're talking 1 to 2 inch hailstones. Luckily, it's powered down. The 3s don't start till you get to this orange right here. So we're still talking probably 1 to 1.5 inch hail directly in town. Do not go outside. Do not try to leave. Just keep it here on Fox for the next few minutes. This storm is treacherous. We go over to the velocity. This is how us meteorologists tell if there's a tornado inside. We look for these two colors mixing around each other. We do see a little bit of it occurring here, but not enough to really represent a tornadic signature. You may hear about people seeing a funnel. We may even see one out there. But right now, in this kind of light, if there's none, you really can't see one of those. So just stay inside. Keep it on Fox. I'm trying to keep you guys safe. We go over to the Supermax 3D radar slice. Town right here, the bubble out by the lake. That's in play. And look at this tower right off to the north of us moving into town. This is the problem. Hail is coming down very strong, and it will for the next 5 or 10 minutes. All of these are combining, and that's a good thing because originally this stuff was exceptionally tornadic. This was the storm originally as we started hitting it about 85 miles northwest of us here. You see these? This is when it started getting dangerous. Lowering of the wall clouds spinning inside the core here. This is all exclusive stuff. This was about 2 minutes before it actually started to generate the tornado itself. And I'm going to let this play. I want to show you this exclusive stuff. Look at this rotation here. This is the wall cloud. You're probably hearing the thunder outside behind me now. Through, and we think the worst damage at this point was Sterling City. They took a direct strike from not one but 2 tornadoes, as well as the hail core just on the southwest side of town. Now, the cluster itself still sliding south-southeast. The good news is it is combining. I expect the storm to continue over us here in San Angelo for another 20 to 25 minutes, and then we should be in the clear. Most of this stuff will continue to the south-southeast. Brady, Junction, Sonora, you're all on alert over the next 90 minutes. This thing is powering up and headed south. One more time, you can see the red here. Tornado watch in effect for another hour, hour and a half, and it's definitely warranted, and we saw multiple tornadoes today. 78 degrees out there, dew point 67. Wind south at about 13 with pressure 29.84. Temps out there ranging in the low 60s to the low 70s. That's given when you've had this much rain. Notice the color bursts on here. Most of the winds right now are about 10 to 20 miles an hour, gusts to 25. But you get near one of these storms, 40, 50, 65, even 70 mile an hour winds, not out of the question. The good news is I think the tornado threat has subsided at this point now that those are joining together. Dew points, plenty of moisture out there, but this looks to be the end of it. We may get one more round by tomorrow morning, but the tornado threat in play for another 30 or 45 minutes. You can see that storm core right there, and that's a good thing. Even though it looks worse as these are joining together, now that they're not individual storms and they're one large squall, that really limits the tornado probabilities, basically meaning the threat for tornadoes has gone down in the last 20 or 30 minutes. That's a good thing when we've seen multiple tornadoes. What's going on? Upper level disturbance. You can see it spinning up by the panhandle, catching off, and we got caught basically today in the wrong spot. When one of these things moves through, you don't want to be on the southeast edge. That's exactly where we were. The good news is it's going to move through tonight. By tomorrow afternoon, this thing will be gone. The 4-day event will be over, but we already saw 6 to 8 inches of rain here. As we were mentioning throughout the whole newscast, lake's full. I wouldn't say the drought's over, but this storm system definitely put a very large dent in it. Now, the system itself will pull off, head towards Dallas and San Antonio. There is a threat for the southeast part of the viewing area tomorrow, but I expect tonight's energy to pretty much work over that environment. That threat is in play. You can see, oh, and they just expanded it over us again, so we're going to have to keep an eye on it. And yes, we'll put the chase teams on standby tomorrow. If we need them, we will launch them. We did it all weekend. Let's go in. I'm going to show you a couple more things, and we'll get you on to the rest of your news. Mid to high level stuff on our 3D model shows the storms will quickly push out, and that should be it. By tomorrow afternoon, skies will clear, the sun will return, and things should be okay. For the remainder of tonight into tomorrow, tornado threat now low. Hail and wind looks to be the main concern, and we've seen some large hail out there. Rain projection over the next 12 hours, not bad, maybe about 0.02. So the computers agree. This thing is pretty much all said and done. We just got to get this last cluster to the south and out of our way. Overnight lows in the mid-60s. Tonight, 65. Mostly cloudy, storms and showers. What about tomorrow? Well, a high of 89. Mostly cloudy. Storms in the morning, gone by the afternoon with highs shooting up into the upper 80s. At least the sunshine will return by about 2 o'clock. I've got another storm system right behind this one for Friday and Saturday. And guess what? Probably severe again. So we're going to do this whole thing again on Friday.
Wow, those storms just sound scary out there right now.
They were. I mean, these huge towers. We're going to give them a much longer video tonight once we can get it edited, but we've got 6 hours of video to go through.
And we just want to reiterate, if you're inside, I mean, stay inside wherever you are right now. Not
just
worth
stay away.
it.
Yeah, don't bother trying to open the window. It's not a tornado.
Yeah.
And then hail can bounce off your yard right through your window and hurt you. So
Yeah, be careful out there. All right, thanks, Kris. Well,
Severe weather season is here. The Concho Valley Severe Weather Network will help you keep your family safe when the weather turns bad. Watch for live severe weather coverage you can count on with KIDY Chief Meteorologist Kris Nation. And get live updates on the radio at Lone Star 92.9 and 106.1 MDX. It's the latest, most accurate severe weather information you'll find.